Yo, what's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We got some breaking news to discuss surrounding this football team as they get ready for their Week 11 matchup against the Green Bay Packers. Before we dive into that, though, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers, in which we crossed over 97,000 subscribers yesterday. So I want to say thank you to every single person that has hit that big red sub button. I'm able to live a dream covering my favorite football team, and it's because of you. So I kindly ask, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do so. We put up free videos every day on your New York Giants. Let's dive into it. Breaking news, the New York Giants have named Jameis Winston the quarterback 2 on this football team, and Russell Wilson has moved from QB2 to QB3. The first decision, and really the first big decision that Mike Kafka has made as the interim head coach for the Giants. He is electing to roll with Jameis Winston this week against the Packers if Jackson Dart does not clear concussion protocol. We'll talk about Dart. What does this mean? Is he going to play? Got some information and some thoughts on that as well. But let's kind of focus in here on Jameis being the starting quarterback. Adam Schefter tweeting out the Giants are expected to start quarterback Jameis Winston versus the Green Bay Packers this week. There was a lot of people when the Giants signed Jameis a day or 2 days before Russell Wilson, and then following the Wilson signing, that said that this should be a quarterback competition. And I think we have grown to understand as Giants fans that Russ is just not the same quarterback he once was. I mean, you go back to the game on Sunday, and when Jackson Dart leaves that game with a concussion, it feels like an undrafted rookie free agent quarterback went into the game. And it was Russell Wilson, former Super Bowl champion, 10-time Pro Bowler. The Giants couldn't do anything on offense. They didn't trust him to run a drop back offense. It was play action right, roll out, play action left, roll out, dump it down into the flat. And the other times he came into the game for Dart when he had to go to the blue medical tent, he threw the ball directly into the dirt. He fumbled a snap. He just didn't look like he was ready to play. And maybe it's more so he's just not used to being a backup. Your entire career have prepared to be a starter, and now you're playing a role where at the drop of a dime, you have to go from ice cold on the sideline to ready to rock and roll in just one snap. And that is something that Jameis has been doing for a while now. Obviously, this week would be a little bit different if he is the starting quarterback versus the Green Bay Packers. But I'll just come out and say it. This is the right move. We have talked about it the last couple of days here on the channel. That's why you subscribe. That the Giants, in my opinion, would have won the game this past Sunday if Jameis Winston was the backup quarterback against the Chicago Bears. I think you could have went for it on 4th and goal from the 1-inch yard line. I think you can run a full playbook that Mike Kafka wants to utilize with Jameis Winston. He can throw the ball to every blade of the grass. He can throw to the left side. He can throw to the right side. Most importantly, he can throw over the middle of the football field, something that Russ cannot do at this stage in his career. Jameis, in his last 17 starts, the stats are hilarious. He is 8-9, completing 61.2% of his passes. He has over 4,000 passing yards, averaging 239.1 yards per game. He's thrown 30 touchdowns to 20 interceptions, and he has 30 big-time throws to 31 turnover-worthy plays. That is the Jameis Winston story in a nutshell. He's going to throw for a lot of yards. He's going to air that puppy out. He's going to take chances. He's going to throw touchdowns. And he is going to put the ball in harm's way. And he is going to throw interceptions as well. I wonder if we could try to see Mike Kafka dial Jameis Winston back a little bit and try to get into him to tap into that 2021 version of Jameis when he was with the New Orleans Saints, where he started the first 7 games of the season, then had a season-ending injury, where New Orleans was led to a 5-2 record with Winston, where he completed 59% of his passes. Not great, but he was a lot smarter with the football. Threw for 14 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions. Or does Kafka say, drop back and let it fly? Maybe there's a meet somewhere in the middle they can meet. I don't think the Giants, if they're actually trying to win football games at this point, can afford for Jameis to throw turnover and pick after pick after pick. But I like the idea of trying to find the solution in the backup quarterback, and that being Jameis. I think it's the right move. I appreciate what Russell Wilson has done for the Giants. I just think at this point, Jameis gives you a better chance to win. Jameis gives you a better chance to run a similar offense that Jackson Dart ran, and he's just a better quarterback, in my opinion. So show Jameis Winston some love. Type those 19s down in the comments section. Some of the wording of the reports coming out from Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, Pat Leonard, Jordan Renan is already kind of hinting that Jackson Dart is not going to play this week. I mean, the Giants are expected to start quarterback Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is in line to be the starting quarterback this Sunday. The Giants are naming Jameis Winston the starting quarterback over Russell Wilson. And look, obviously I'm not inside the building conducting a concussion test. Jesus, I sound like I had a concussion on Jackson Dart. But this was a play where his head smacked the frozen ground in Chicago, and he laid motionless there for a good 5-6 seconds. And I think this is a serious concussion, and the Giants should not rush Dart out there. Part of the reason that Brian Daboll got fired was because he did not take care of Dart. He refused to take him out of harm's way. And look, I don't think you should neuter Jackson Dart and not have him be a runner. That is one of his greatest skills. That's why he is in the NFL, and that is why he was thriving in the NFL. But there is a way to go about it to be much safer and smarter. Maybe when you're down multiple scores to the Niners or multiple scores to the Eagles, we're not running quarterback power in the red zone to cut the lead from 24 to 17. So that's conversation for another day. But my point is there's no need to rush back Dart. If he needs to sit a week, let him sit a week. If he needs to sit 2 weeks, let him sit 2 weeks. The season's over. We already know Jackson Dart can be a star. I don't need to see anything else on tape. At this point, the main goal, as it is consistent improvement for Dart, should be he leaves this season as healthy as possible and he doesn't have any injuries that are going to carry over into the future. And you have a backup quarterback in Jameis that you should be able to trust. You had another backup quarterback in Russell Wilson that you should be able to trust. You built your team to be ready for this situation to where you don't have to rush back a rookie quarterback. So is Dart going to play? I think I lean towards no based on just everything I'm reading, some things I'm hearing, and the way the reporters are writing things. Maybe he is a super quick healer and he goes through the concussion protocol quickly, but I almost think it would be smart for the Giants to hold him out of this game no matter what. Even if he is fully cleared, let him take another week, and let's make sure he's ready to go the rest of the season. So breaking news, Jameis Winston has been named the starting quarterback if Jackson Dart cannot go. Russell Wilson is moving down the depth chart, and Mike Kafka has made his first big decision as the head coach of the New York Giants. If you appreciated today's video from home, hit that thumbs up icon, subscribe to the channel, and let's go Giants.